So today we're going to be working on my setup again. There's not any specific problem I have with my setup except for the size of this PC. I think it's way too big because it takes up an entire part of my desk that I would like to have a bit more room. So I bought a bunch of PC parts, and it's not a high-end PC, but I don't need that. So I'm going to show you what those parts are, and we'll build the PC together. So let's go and let's have fun. And the whole point of this upgrade is 1, having a stronger PC, and 2, having a smaller PC, because I don't want to have this huge ATX tower on my desk anymore. So we'll see what everything is inside in just a second, and then we'll get to building. Let's go. So for my new case, I chose the Cooler Master Masterbox NR200. 1, because it's a mini ITX form factor and I wanted a smaller PC, and 2, because it's super affordable and still gives you quite a bit of space to work with. So that makes it a lot easier to build your first small form factor PC. Now after that, due to the ongoing chip shortage, I just got whatever I could at the time that it was available, which was the RX6600 dual version by ASUS. I went AMD for both my GPU and my CPU, as you can see by my choice of the Ryzen 5600X. And there is a reason for that, and that is because I wanted to be able to take advantage of the smart access memory. And then after that, we have a 750 watt power supply, which is overkill for this PC build. I don't really need a 750 watt power supply. 600 watts would have been more than enough. But this is where I kind of future-proof my PC. So if I ever want to put in a new motherboard, a new PC, a stronger graphics card, I still have enough juice left over to still use this part. Then the next thing we have is a pretty good cooler for my CPU. I want to keep it cool so I can do some overclocking if necessary. And the Noctua NH-U9S was one of the bigger air coolers that could fit into this case. You can also do water cooling, but I have no experience with that yet, so I'm sticking with old, tried, tested, and proven air cooling. The next part we have, also very important, of course, is the motherboard. I went for the Aorus Pro. This is the B550 chipset, which still supports 5000 series CPUs, and Gigabyte did not really pull back any of the features from their X570, so it's a fully featured motherboard, PCI Express Gen 4, M.2 slots, USB 3.2. You get the whole package. You even get Wi-Fi 6 all built in. So this was a great deal, good bang for the buck. And that's why we're going with this motherboard. And then the last two things are two things I'm carrying over from my old PC. One is 2 8GB sticks of 3200 mega transfer per second DDR4, because this is more than fast enough for what I'm doing, and it's cheaper to just keep using the same RAM. And then the other part is I installed a P5 M.2 SSD in my old PC, and we're just going to take that out of the old one, put it into the new one, and I already have Windows installed from a clean install, and all of my data is still there. this is it. Comes with covers for the back ports, and even down here it has a cover on it. Because it is a pretty tight fit for this GPU, but we'll get it in there. Line it up. So I did a lot of the cable work off camera, and one of the problems of working with a small form factor case is that you get quite the mess with all the cables. One suggestion I think that would be a good idea is attaching the power supply cage here at the front, so you can just run the cable straight to where they need to be instead of having them on the side and pressing against the graphics card. So that's something I might do another time, but for today let's just close this up and get done with it. So we'll just make sure that we get the cable on the side that we want, get this cable out of the way as well, and then make sure everything lines up. You can just clip them into place. So close it up, and it's time to see if this puppy is running. So we successfully got into the BIOS, and everything looks really good. So let's try and start this up. Looks like we're launching successfully, so this is a good sign. I can hear the CPU cooler running, but it's not on a very high fan curve, so all signs are positive so far. So the only thing I changed in the BIOS is I enabled the XMP profile to get the full speed of the RAM that we got in here. Perfect, we got a start. And success. So that's the end of our PC build. I hope you guys enjoyed. It was a lot of work for a first time PC builder and in a mini ITX enclosure no less. And I'll see you guys next time.